Testing. I'd like to welcome everybody to Spire Stadium tonight for our game between and the Geneva Eagles. Tonight's a special night as we get to honor all of our senior fall athletes and their parents. We appreciate their dedication and all of their hard work that they've given to Geneva High School and the Geneva athletic programs. We will start tonight with the cheerleaders. The cheerleaders on this side are excited that we're starting with the cheerleaders. Abigail Christine, escorted by Keith Christine and Joanna Christine. Ella Winchell. Escorted by Mom Kara Rogowski, Dad Jeremy Winchell, and stepmom Brittany Winchell. Now for the football team. Anthony Albee, escorted by Robert and Sarah Albee.
How are you?
Jordan Boss, escorted by Sarah and Rick Burkholder. John Hazler, escorted by John and Anna Hazler. Daniel Hall, escorted by Robert and Becky Hall. Matthew Hoover, escorted by Mark and Kathy Hoover and his brother JJ. Will Torres Mook, escorted by Amanda Sturgill and brother Jordan Eisenberg. Jacob Wilson, escorted by Mom Miranda Bond, Grandma Lori Wilson, and Uncle Luke Wilson. That's all of our senior football players. Now for cross country. Connor Boland, escorted by Jack and Crystal Boland. Serenity Bray, escorted by Lucy Lewis and Jeff Lewis. Tegan Gilbert, escorted by Dad Dave Gilbert and Mom Amy Diefenbacher. Inez Montanier, escorted by host parents Beth and Brian. Riley Park. Supposedly it's Riley's birthday today. Happy birthday, Riley. Escorted by Jeremy and Cindy Park and sister Ella. Last but not least, from cross country, Adriana Strong. Escorted by Chad Strong and Julie Simmons. Next is boys golf. Leading off for the golfers, Connor Anderson, escorted by Wendy and Andy Anderson. Max Booth, escorted by Dave and Wendy Booth. Richard Giffen Jr., escorted by Father Richard Giffen Sr. and Shannon Giffen. Noah Griffiths, escorted by Jeff and Tina Griffiths. Cooper Craig, escorted by Jerry and Michelle Craig. Next is girls soccer. Ali Aparicio, escorted by Carlos Aparicio. Sammy Aparicio, escorted by Sarah Aparicio. Savannah Surgeon, escorted by Jim and Charlotte Surgeon. Alexis Dewey, escorted by Melissa Dewey, Chris Dewey, and Emily Dewey. Glory Kinnunen, escorted by Amy Garlisi and Jeff Kinnanen. Cameron Platt, escorted by Randy Platt and Ashley Klunk. Gabriella Ralph, escorted by Mom Erica and Stepdad Robert Perkins, and escorted by Eric and Nicole Ralph. And our final girls soccer athlete, Sink, also is part of the cheer squad, Haley Venus, escorted by Jennifer Venus and Todd Venus. Next is boys soccer. Starting off for the boys soccer team, Eric Allen, escorted by Cindy Allen and grandfather Jim Ciccone. Hunter Arnold, escorted by Mike and Stacy Stern. Owen Emmett, escorted by Kelly Emmett and Jeremiah Emmett. Matthew Henry, escorted by parents Greg and Susie Henry and sister Samantha. Louis Jansen, escorted by Mr. and Mrs. Byron. Stefan Leckington, escorted by Nicoletta Leckington and Colin Leckington. Ari Loveridge, escorted by Dave Schisler and Amy Loveridge. Marlon Maldonado, escorted by Eduardo and Katie Maldonado and niece Jacqueline. Sergio Blasquez. Escorted by Jared Zeman and Rebecca Surgeon and Parker Zeman. Sam Miller. Escorted by Tiffany Miller and Mike Buck. Ryan Pandy. Escorted by Ryan and Jennifer Pandy. As we move on from the boys soccer team, on to the girls tennis team. Starting off with Annalisa Ellsworth, escorted by Doug and Beth Ellsworth. Isabella Rose, escorted by Michael and Melissa Rose. And now for our last team of the evening, volleyball. Lauren Caswell, escorted by Jason and Deanne Caswell. Gianna DeLuca, escorted by Chris and Tracy DeLuca. Alex Nugent, escorted by Tim and Lisa Nugent. Last but certainly not least, our final senior athlete to come across the field, Lily Rose. Escorted by Mom Ginger and stepdad Pat Anastasia, Dad Dusty Rhodes, and Dad's fiance Carrie Colby. SW Post 6846 color guard, and thank you, Geneva Band. Hey, tell me when I'm going live. Mr. Saniato. Hello, everybody, and welcome to GHS Media. Tonight, your Geneva Eagles play the Lakeside Dragons, and I have a special guest with me tonight, Steve Barry. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Jackie, thanks for having me, buddy. I appreciate it. My cousin, my friend. Going to have some fun here tonight, watch a good football game.
Absolutely. Could be, hopefully, a stunner for the Eagles, for a lot of the viewers at home. That's a lot of hope. Eagles, they've played stellar defense as of late. Can you tell me about this Lakeside squad?
Well, one of the things about this Lakeside squad, Jack, is they are physical. They're one of the more physical Lakeside teams that I remember. And they can hit you up top. They can take the top off the defense. They've got some speed on the outside. But the key tonight for Lakeside and for Geneva, well, for Geneva would be to stop GHS Sanders. That is the absolute key to this game tonight. And, of course, Lakeside's going to want to get him going early. Are we sure about his health for this game? Will he be available?
Well, the buzz all week is that Jay-Sean has been 50-50 to play. A lot of guys have heard, oh, Jay-Sean's out. Other guys are hearing he's in. He is officially in as far as we know up in the booth. So Jay-Sean Sanders will be getting the carries tonight for Lakeside as your Eagles take the field.
I'll tell you what, Jack. This is the most people I've seen at this stadium before. This is a really neat atmosphere. Two local schools going at it. Over the years, we haven't gotten enough of that with the breakups and the moves into other conferences. So I'm excited to see this, how this game turns out tonight.
Absolutely, 100%. Should be a terrific game. I expect great defensive play from both sides and hopefully some explosive offense. We know we're going to get that from Lakeside, a lot of speed, like you said. Geneva, if they can keep the ball in their possession, not force any turnovers or anything like that on offense, I think they can be good to go. They can really compete against this Lakeside defense that they held Brush to 7 points, and the next week they scored Brush scored 73. Excuse me.
Understood. And for Lakeside, one of the positives that has been occurring these last few weeks is that their quarterback Alex DeSalvatore continues to get better every week. He manages that offense. He can make big plays, and he's been able to get outside the pocket and extend some plays with his feet at times too, which really helps this Lakeside offense move the chains.
Now, can you tell us what receivers DeSalvatore likes to hit the most?
Well, he's got a few speedsters on the outside, some athletes. One of them is number 1, Malachi Matlock. I've been watching Malachi for a lot of years because I am the public address announcer at Lakeside, so I've seen these kids for a while, and I've seen how good they are too. Jimmy Timoneer, number 10, I believe, is also a threat. Jimmy's had some big plays in his career as a Lakeside Dragon. And don't forget about Cameron Mitchell. Cameron Mitchell can also get open, and he's got pretty soft hands too.
Yeah, you mentioned Jimmy Timoneer. He's a pretty good ball player. He's what, 6'3", 6'4"? He's got a huge frame, super fast on the outside. He can make some big plays.
All I can say, Jack, is must be nice. Must be nice to be that tall.
Oh,
so
one day.
If I only had that when I played high school football. But no, Jimmy does a nice job, and he's a key to this team, a leader, and we'll see if Alex can get him some throws tonight.
100%. Now, this Eagles defense, they've struggled a little bit against the pass. They've had a handful of interceptions, but past that, their pass defense has not been the greatest. So maybe Lakeside can exploit that, or maybe the Eagles can clean that up. Now, with the Eagles offense, you really know what you're getting. It's a lot of Luke Smith. He gets the ball probably 60% of the time, makes huge plays. At one point, he was leading the county in yards per rush. So if Smith can keep making the big plays and Lakeside can avoid stopping him, like Geneva obviously hopes that happens, Geneva's offense can really get rolling behind Smith.
Yeah, I agree there. And one of the things, too, you were telling me earlier, because unfortunately, I haven't gotten a chance to watch much Geneva football, is that they have turned the ball over here and there, and that cannot happen tonight.
Here's the kick. That's going to go out of bounds. Geneva takes over at around the 40-yard line.
Well, here we go, Jack. High school football at its finest. What a beautiful night. Great crowd. Seems like everybody's in good spirits. And I do believe we're going to see a good, well-contested football game here this evening. But one thing for Geneva, if they could get on the board first, Boy, that puts them in great position as far as momentum and as far as execution.
I 100% agree. Geneva scored on their opening drive a touchdown, that is, every single time this year. That's 3 games in a row with an opening drive touchdown. And Lakeside, they're a second-half team. The Eagles are a first-half team. Maybe we get some counteraction there, maybe get a tight one at the end, a big finish. We'll see.
Well said.
Here's Young to hand to Wilson. It's a solid game of about 7.
Yeah, if Geneva can get, if they can get Luke Smith into space, right there was a pretty solid run right there. Put them in here in a good position here on 2nd down and short. These are the situations they want to be in all night. They do not want to be behind the sticks, Jack.
Sorry, going through a little bit of technical difficulties there. That was Smith on the carry up the middle. Big stop for that Lakeside defense. We have 3rd and 2.
3rd and 2, and Grayson Petros did a nice job coming off the ball right there. He was the first man to the ball carrier and made the stop pretty much at the line of scrimmage. So here we go, Jack, 3rd and short.
That's Wilson in the backfield. Young is going to keep it himself, I think. No, he handed that one to Wilson up the middle for a 1st down.
Yeah, nice job by Geneva getting to the outside right there, finding a crease, and they're already in Lakeside territory here, moving the ball, getting some positive yards, and building some confidence.
Typically in a spot like this, they'll come off the side with one of their wing backs. I think it would be Deemer because Smith has already gotten the ball, so don't be surprised if Deemer comes across a lot and runs to that left side tonight. That's Wilson up the middle. He'll be wrapped up around the line of scrimmage for a gain of about 1 or 2.
Looked like a little misdirection right there. Lakeside was ready. Linebackers stepped up into the gap, made the play. Initial contact looked like it was just about a yard past the line of scrimmage. So 2nd down and long.
This is the story of their defense. Fast linebackers, no?
Fast linebackers, and they've got some pretty decent cover corners out there, too. Once again, your cover corners are your receivers pretty much on offense, and they will make plays, both sides of the ball.
That was freshman Bryce Pete up the middle. Now this kid, he's a freshman, but he is built like a brick house. He is 190, or he's 6 foot 190 as a freshman.
Got my old friend Bobby McCoy giving me a little advice up here as far as the technical aspect of tonight. I appreciate that. So here we go, Jack. 3rd down and about 3.
Young's going to keep this one. A little flip. That's Matt Wright on the outside. Bryce Pete, excuse me. That's an Eagle 1st down.
Yeah, nice job by the quarterback getting to the outside. Put a nice touch on his pass. Bryce Pete was open over the shoulder, out of bounds. Looked like the tackle was made by, I think that was number 5, Jonathan Beals. But once again, Geneva's moved the chains. Here we go, Jack.
Here's Young under center this time. That's a pitch play to Gio. That's the guy they call G.I. Joe.
Yeah, from what it looked like here, too, looked like Jimmy Timoneer was the first one to the ball carry. He slid well from his position, and he zeroed in on the ball carry. Made a nice play for a short, minimal gain.
Right there, Giovanni Rice, they call him G.I. Joe, and every play they run is something with G.I. in front of it because he is so darn fast. That's Pete with an elusive carry.
Jet sweep right there. Didn't get much on that play. Looked like number 62, Hassani Sai, was the first one to meet the ball carrier. Short gain on the play right there. Well, is this a passing down for Geneva here, Jack, or will they continue to grind it in between the tackles?
You know, I think they do trust Owen Pfeiffer's leg. He's yet to miss this year, knock on wood. And I think this is a play where they're going to run this play and just run it again on 4th down if they feel like they're close enough. As they say, that Young goes back to pass, and he's going to go down for a sack. That's number
Great job.
27, Malachi Donahue.
Yeah, like I mentioned to you earlier before we got on the broadcast, Malachi Donahue was another name that we would call a few times tonight. And he did a nice job of squaring his shoulders and making the hit to the ball carrier for a loss of yards. And this puts Geneva in a pretty tough position here.
It's going to be 4th and 13 from about the 36.
Let's see what Geneva's offense has in their bag of tricks. This is tricky. Sometimes the odds tell you to maybe pooch punt here, but they're going to try and get the first down or back Lakeside up.
They're going to go for it. That's Young. So Smith knocked off his chest plate. That's going to be a turnover on downs.
Turnover on downs, but I'll tell you what, the referee might have missed a call right there because Mike Olson was there just a bit early before the ball reached the receiver. And appearing from the crowd here, I see a lot of pass interference calls being made, and I think that call should have been made, but it happens. Looks like Geneva did a nice job of establishing some offensive success, Jack, but that's going to hurt them in the long run. That's as far as they were able to go on this first drive. 100%.
And even if Smith does make that catch, his momentum is coming back towards the line of scrimmage. I don't know if he really crosses the first down mark.
No, I think you're 100% right there, Jack. It would not have been a first
back
down.
To pass. That's number 10, Jimmy Timoneer on a quick slant.
And that's where Jimmy can also hurt you, too. And if Alex is going to get time to throw like that for most of this game, it will be a long game for the Geneva defense. But Jimmy Timoneer did a nice job of on his cut to the inside for the curl route, and now you're in second and short. I think we got an official's timeout there, Jack.
Seems like an equipment issue maybe with number 83.
That's Mitchell jogging off the field. I'll bet that's what it was, Jack. Probably an equipment issue. He'll have to come out for one play, and then he'll be back.
That's Malachi Donahue in for him, number 27.
You got twins out here to the right side. Watch the crossing routes.
DeSalvador's going to keep that himself.
Nice RPO right there by DeSalvador. A little zone read off the left side. Just enough for the Lakeside first down.
Now, Lakeside does run the spread offense. The Eagles are yet to play a team that runs an offense like Lakeside with so many receivers on the field.
Well, one thing's for sure, too. I see some pretty wide cushions down here with Lakeside speed as far as the coverage. We'll see if that becomes a problem for Geneva as this game goes on.
Meanwhile, I want to point out that was a terrific run by number 25, Caleb Stitt. Just kept pushing the pile forward, kept his feet churning for probably an extra 4, 5, 6 yards.
Yeah, Caleb Stitt is a hard runner. He's starting to make his presence known on this Lakeside football team also.
That's Bartone up the middle.
Like we were talking about before the game, Jack, Bartone, tough runner, downhill runner, squares his shoulders in line of scrimmage, and he'll get those tough yards for Lakeside. And they've moved the chains again. They're doing a nice job of mixing things up right now. You got trips to the right.
Now, I don't want to speak too early, but has Ja'Shawn Sanders got a snap yet?
No, and I don't think that I've seen him out there very much. Oh.
It's in and out of the hands of Olson. It's going to be 2nd and 10.
Nice. Olson, he'll be thinking about that one later on tonight because he knows he should have had that one. That was a nice pass by DeSalvador. He'll shake it off and move on to the next play. Now, one of the keys to success for this Geneva defense tonight is to put Lakeside behind the chains, and that's where they're at right now. So if you can get 2nd and 3rd and longs, I think they'd have a chance to really do something special tonight on defense.
That's Matlock up the middle. He was held back by thrower and dragged down by Wilson at the end of that one. He'll gain about 1 or 2.
Nice job by the Geneva linebacker recognizing run and coming up and making the play.
Hey, like you said, keep the Dragons behind the chains. We got 3rd and 7 from the 38.
This is one of those keys of success that we were talking about, Jack. Looks like we have another official's timeout on the field. Coach Edwards talking to the line judge over there.
Not sure what's happening here.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a mystery on the field right now. No signals from the officials. Apparently, Coach Edwards saw something that prompted him to grab the referee's attention.
If only we could mic up the referees.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot more high schools are starting to do that across the country, and, you know, it's become an extra part of the game, and, you know, to better the experience for the fans, too. All right, Jack, here we go. 3rd down and long. Big play right here. Geneva makes a stop. They're in business.
DeSalvador back to throw this time. Looks up the middle. Wide open is Timonier. That's a first down.
Looked like a simple little skinny post right there. Jimmy did a nice job off his cuts. Geneva's safety got sucked into the play right there. Easy throw, easy pitch and catch for Alex DeSalvador. Nice play.
1st and 10 from the 21. Got twins on both sides. Salvador will hand this time to Matlock.
Looked
flag
like
on the play.
Yep, looked like a little misdirection there, but I think this one's going to be coming back.
There was a player with his helmet off. That's number 58. John Snyder.
John Snyder. So we've had a couple odd stoppages so far here in this first quarter of play. And when you're an offense like Lakeside, you thrive on rhythm. And when there's these little delays and stoppages, it doesn't play well to your, to your traits.
And I feel like that can be the same thing with any sport. I mean, basketball, you got a team on a run.
Right.
Stoppage, like by the team getting hammered, essentially.
Right.
That could mess with the offensive team's flow. Baseball, you got a pitcher in the flow, call timeout in the box.
Yeah, don't ask Max Scherzer and Jacob deGrom to wait too long. They're not going to put up with that. All right, 1st and goal, Jack, just inside the 10-yard line.
That's Stitt behind DeSalvador.
Watch that one-on-one matchup on the outside here with Malachi Matlock. There's no safety. I'd be going to the inside.
That's Stitt on the backside. He'll gain about 2.
Stitt getting some calls here early. Looks like he stepped up in practice and showed his coaches that, hey, if we can't have our star leader and number 1 runner out on the field, I'm going to pick up the load right now, along with Nate Bartone. But I've been really impressed with the way Caleb Stitt is running the ball hard here in the first quarter.
Second and goal from the 9.
3 receivers set out left.
Salvador to pass. He's going to be dragged down. That's number 23, Logan Queen on the sack.
Boy, nice job by Logan Queen right there. He read pass, but it looked like it was a safety blitz. Is that where Logan plays? I think at the safety position, free safety.
Queen, he bounces back and forth between a safety kind of position and outside linebacker.
Okay.
Versatile defensive player for sure.
Well, he did a nice job of reading pass right there. And DeSalvador had nowhere to go. Great play.
3rd and 12 now. DeSalvador back to pass once more. Looking. He's going to take it himself up. Gets to the outside. Great open field tackling. That's number 2. Excuse me, number 3, Matt Wright on that tackle.
That was Matt Wright that made that tackle. You know, he did a nice job, I saw, when DeSalvador got outside, of breaking down before contact, chopping his feet. Therefore, you're not lunging and you're more square before you attack the ball carrier. Great defensive play right there. I would say, Jack, this is the play of the game so far, early.
100%, couldn't agree more. DeSalvador to pass again, little bubble play to Timonier. He's going to get this one into the end zone. 6-0 Dragons lead.
Alex DeSalvador doing a nice job of selling the run on the misdirection, and Jimmy Timonier coming off the blocks on the slant right to the goal line and pushes himself in. Great play. And this is not where Geneva wanted to be early.
Absolutely not.
Like I said earlier, Jack, we may look back at that first drive if this is a close game, and Geneva will, look at it as a missed opportunity.
1,000%. Great field position to start. Just couldn't get the chains really moving after the first couple first downs. The extra point is good. It is 7-0 Dragons lead.
I believe that was Aiden Hathey right there. Aiden's got a pretty good leg, and I've seen him make some nice kicks so far this year. That one got away from him a little bit, but all that matters is it made it through the upright. 7-0. You're right. Here we go.
2:23 left in the first quarter here on Geneva Senior Night.
Yeah, what a beautiful night. Great crowd on both sides that have come in. I've been to the stadium many times, like I was telling you, Jack, and I had to park back out where the pavement ends. I'm not used to that, but it was nice to see there would be this many people attending this game tonight.
Yeah, you get a little special treatment tonight up in the booth. Air conditioning is fantastic, no?
You know, I'm loving it. I'm really glad you asked me to come up here tonight. And we've seen a good game here. And, you know, although, you know, I have an affinity for Lakeside, I want to see Geneva stay in this game, make it a ball game. That makes it fun for all of us, especially the broadcasting crew, right, Jack?
Oh, absolutely.
Now, Lakeside, over the years under Coach Edwards, they will onside kick a lot. I would say maybe even 75% of the time. So they are very good at recovering onside kicks.
It looks like this looks like what it's going to be. Hathey with an onside kick. Just squib it up the middle.
And that's what they do. They use their speed to get downfield and make those plays. Very nice. That looked like my friend Kevin Crockett's son, Cameron, right there, was first to the ball carrier. And that's, you know, by using the onside kick, that's what Coach Edwards is going for. He's trying to utilize the speed of his athletes, and that's why right there. No, you did not pin Geneva deep, but you trust your defense enough that starting from the 32, 33 is not a huge deal.
Absolutely, and their defense is the strong point of this team very clearly. There's not a single slow guy in this defense, it doesn't seem like.
No, and they get good push up front. Even though their linemen are big, they're not very tall up front, but they're strong. And I think we're going to see a little bit of that tonight.
Young hands that's Wilson.
Nice run. Looked like he had one man to beat right there. Good job. Good angle taken by Cameron Crockett to get to the ball carrier and make the tackle and keep him from busting into a big play.
Clock winds down to 1:59 in the first quarter.
Boy, time flies when you're having fun up here, right, Jack? Wow, we're under 2 minutes already.
This Eagles offense needs to capitalize on this drive, punch back, because Lakeside, they're not going to let go of the gas pedal.
No, they're not. I don't know if that play, it looks like they're going to be a little short here.
That was Wilson on the short carry.
Now on 3rd and short, quarterback Kenny Young, correct? Kenny
Yes.
Young. Have they shown that they will follow the center for short yardage situation? Oh, doesn't matter any now. Looks like the referees gave them the first down. I was going to ask you if they like to sneak.
They will in inches kind of plays.
Okay.
He does have a couple touchdowns like that, little Tom Brady quarterback sneak on the goal line.
Yeah.
It's a big run for Smith right there. Talked about him earlier a lot.
Tough run right there. Luke Smith saw daylight and he got there. Very tough run.
It'll be 2nd and 2 from the Eagles 48.
Do you try to mix it up here a little bit, Jack, or are you starting to gain some confidence in the ground game?
I think you got to stick to the ground as they do right there. I mean, this wing T offense is built on ground and pound. You run the ball, you run the ball, you run the ball, and then after that, you run the ball one more time.
And if they do pass, they're more of an RPO team, I would assume. That,
100%.
Right? Always trying to run first and then drop back and hit some short routes, I believe.
Yeah, it's a lot of boot out, kick out, kind of flood kind of passing plays.
Yeah.
35 seconds left in the first quarter.
If you look at some of the scores of the games that Lakeside's played so far this year, they're not accustomed to getting pushed down the field or being backed up into their own territory. So Geneva's done a nice job these first 2 drives, but the key is to finish, Jack.
That's Smith on a big carry.
Boy, this kid
Finds
can
some room
run.
up the middle. That's another first down. The Eagles are going to take this one around the 35-yard line.
Nope, you told me before the game that Luke Smith would be someone to keep my eyes on, and I am impressed with the way he's running the football.
Yeah, the way Smith runs the ball, unlike a lot of guys, I feel like he gets the ball at full speed and he doesn't slow down unless he's hit. Whereas everyone else takes him a second to get going. He's full speed as soon as he touches the ball.
Yeah, you can't teach that either. That's a natural instinct, and all Luke Smith cares about is getting yards. He wants to go forward, not backward, and that's completely obvious.
And as we wind down to the end of the first quarter, you don't see Smith fall backwards or to the sideline. He's always diving and falling forward to get that extra couple yards.
Yeah, he's a, pardon the pun, and this is a compliment, he's what you would call kind of a dirtbag. You know, he's not afraid to get dirty. He's not afraid to mix it up. And those are the guys that I want next to me that, you know, on a football team, on a battlefield, at work. So Luke Smith is definitely a lunch pail type of guy, but he's got some flash to him too. And I can tell he can break a few.
Absolutely.
Now, have you seen Luke Smith very much in the passing game this year, Jack?
No, I have not. I've seen a lot of Barbo. Every now and again, they'll give it to Smith, and that's if he's open over the middle. Usually, they'll throw a linebacker at him, and he'll be covered across the middle because a lot of his plays he's lined up on the backside of the pass.
Yes.
So he's not necessarily incorporated a lot in the passing game, but it doesn't matter because they rarely pass the ball probably 5 times a game, but then he gets probably 12 carries a game at least.
Well, it seems like that their offensive line is tailored to that, but the quarterback he's 11th grade, so he's still learning. He's a veteran, but
that's the sophomore Hayden Deemer. He turns a corner.
Nice chunk.
Big 13-yard run there. It's another Eagles first down.
Yeah, Jack, and you could see right before the first initial contact was made, he made a nice cut to the outside, and he was able to pick up a few extra yards right there.
I definitely think Deemer has turned a lot of heads before the season. Previous to the season, not a lot of people knew that he was the football player he is, and really he's probably the second best back on this team.
Well, that's what they call determination. And, you know, when you don't hear your name being called and you know that you are that good, well, you feel like you got something to prove, and he's proving it tonight.
1st and 10 from the 20.
Looked like a full house right there.
That's Smith on the backside. Failed spin move, and he's slammed to the ground by Malachi Donahue.
Malachi Donahue and the rest of the speed of the Lakeside defense did a nice job with their pursuit angles and nowhere for Geneva's back to go.
Clock winds down to 11:20 in the half. This is a drive the Eagles definitely have to capitalize on.
Yeah, Jack, that's a no-doubter right here. They've got to get in the end zone. I don't know what kind of kicking game they've got, but 3 points won't do it either.
On the outside, turning a corner.
Yep.
Is he going to get there?
He's there. He's over.
They're going to say Smith fell just short. That knee must have barely hit the ground before crossing the goal line.
That's a tough one right there because from up here it did look like he had crossed the goal line, but Geneva is in pole position right here, primed to go up and tie this ball game.
It seems like it's going to be first and goal at about the half-inch yard line. A lot of times this year we've seen Kenny Young try to sneak this one in, like we talked about earlier.
Yep.
I would not be surprised at all if they try that right here.
It's the smart money. Obviously, Lakeside's in their goal line set right here. So they'll have 11 men and 10 men in the box. That's probably your best bet to follow your center. You got a half a yard to go here, Jack. There it is.
And there it is.
And he's in.
They're going to push him in. That's going to be 6-7, Dragons leading as we wait for the extra point.
So after Lakeside did a nice job of going down the field on Geneva, they responded well right here, showing me something. They're here to play tonight, folks.
I do think it's going to be that type of game, back and forth, like a good boxing match.
Well, one thing that I don't enjoy and not too many other people do, especially the players, are blowouts in high school football. So if we keep it like this, everybody's happy.
Absolutely. Here's Pfeiffer on for the PAT. Smith the holder.
A little bit of a high snap. They got a fire play, and that fell apart quickly.
Yeah, high snap. Nothing Smith could really do with it. If he puts that one down, that one's blocked on the outside. Dragons still lead by 1, getting the ball back. 10:29 left in the half.
But once again, you know, this is where games are won and lost on special teams, and those are the type of plays that you'll want to have back later on in the ball game right there. Against a team that is perceived to possibly be better than you got to be perfect on special teams. That was a big mistake. Jack, how long have you been doing this up here now, streaming these games, calling them?
Well, this is my second football game. I've also done some work with 4 for 1 goal. Done a lot of basketball games then, like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And then I'll make videos on YouTube as well for the school, like little recap videos. So if you haven't checked those out, the Struthers and Springfield games, go check those out. But yeah, no, I just love being up in the booth. Love talking about the guys I go to school with. I mean, I pass all these guys in the hallway. It's cool. I get to go talk to them. I say, hey, do you want to do an interview? They'll do an interview with me. A lot of good guys on the football team. It's a really cool group of guys I love to work with. And hopefully they can keep me entertained in the booth. No blowouts, and they haven't so far. So doing a good job.
Well, that's good. That's good stuff right there to hear, Jack. And you know, I admire and I'm envious of you also because you know it would have been nice back when I played in high school if we had something like this. So these kids really are getting the best of what can be offered as far as you know watching themselves later on that night, watching replays, etc.
That's Olsen on the kickoff. He's going to bring that one down to about the 24-yard line.
Yeah, nice job getting to the outside. He made something out of nothing right there. That's a pretty good kick. He had some pretty good air under that kick. Geneva did a nice job of bottling up Olsen in the corner. And this is another key I don't think we mentioned, the battle of field position tonight. Obviously, it needs to be tipped in the favor of Geneva if they want to win this football game. But this is a good start in that area.
Absolutely. They got good leg kicking the ball, good leg punting the ball. And lately they've been pinning teams back pretty well. And, yeah, field position is going to be huge because Lakeside, there's not a lot of plays where they mess up. They're a very disciplined team.
Yes.
They're always going to get forward progress.
He's got his man Timoneer on the slant.
That's the third time they've run this play today.
I think they'll have to make some adjustments defensively in the passing game right there. They may have to play a little more press. They're giving Jimmy a little bit too much cushion, and DeSalvador and Jimmy are going to exploit that. And Alex is getting good pass blocking from his boys up front.
100%. Now, Geneva, they do run a 4-3 defense, and they play a lot of cover 4. It's a lot of zone. They need a lot of press coverage, but then again, I feel like they're afraid to get burnt because these Lakeside receivers are significantly faster than any corner they'll face.
And that's understandable, too. You want to keep everything underneath if you are going to give up completions.
That's Stitt in the flat. Great open field tackle by Queen right there.
Was that Bryce Pete right there, Jack? No.
That was Logan Queen.
Logan Queen, okay. Logan Queen did a nice job of getting to the ball carrier right there, and he wrapped. Something that is kind of become a lost art form in American football these last 10 years. Wrap. Everybody wants a shoulder tackle, and we see what the results of that are. Nice gang tackle.
It's another run up the middle for Lakeside. That was Stitt once more.
Well, we're coming up on a big play right here, approaching midfield, Jack. Lakeside moving the football, but Geneva could really make a statement if they make a stop here on 3rd down and 5.
This is a much-needed stop because really if they get the ball back within the next 3 plays, we're going to get a timeout, Geneva.
Another official's timeout. And it looks like it's got to be equipment-related, Jack, because that's the second time that the line judge has sent 2 Lakeside receivers back to the sideline.
That's Colazo coming in. DeSalvador kick out. That's the flat. Another good tackle by the Eagles defense.
Yeah, Cameron Mitchell made a nice play on the ball, but that play wasn't going to go anywhere, especially the way number 8, Jacob Wilson, I believe that was.
That was Hayden Deemer coming up from the outside linebacker spot to make that hit.
Deemer did a nice job of recognizing the play, and he met the ball carrier just a few yards past the line of scrimmage. Nice play.
8-18, 4th and 4.
Lakeside looks like they're going to go for it here. Big play.
That's Deemer getting to the pass. That's going to be incomplete, and the Eagles are going to take over at the Dragon 45.
Yeah, it looks like DeSalvador just missed on that. A little bit high. His intended receiver was number 1, Malachi Matlock. He might have had a few yards ahead of him to get to the line to gain, but he didn't, and that is a huge turnover on downs for the Geneva Eagles.
They're 45 yards away from a lead. Even if you get this ball down to like the 25, Pfeiffer can put that in. He's got a heck of a leg. Best kicker the Eagles have had since I can last remember. And this offense got to keep rolling. They got good momentum right now. The defense, short possession right there. They're still fresh. Eagles, they have all the momentum right now.
They have all the momentum right now, and they don't look intimidating. They know Lakeside's fast. They know Lakeside's big, and they've come to play tonight. They're going toe-to-toe. This is a good ball game so far.
That's Wilson on the carry.
Yeah, Wilson doing a nice job getting up through the 2-hole. Looks like a short gain right there.
Jake Wilson's a kid. He's a grinder. He'll have 100 yards in a game, but he's not going to break any loose. He just keeps getting 3 yards, 4 yards.
Finesse is not his game, but more like grinding it out, blue collar.
Yes, bowling people over, ramming heads with guys.
Looks like that could be an unbalance right there.
That's Pete. He's got room on the outside. That's going to be a first down, Eagles.
Nice run by Pete right there, but I think once he looks back at the film and realized he had maybe another cut left in him before the contact right there, he might have been able to get outside. Still a very nice run.
Seemed like he bumped his lead blocker, number 75, Jonathan Alley right there, and missed out on a little bit of speed.
A little bit of missed opportunity right there, but let's see what the Eagles have in their bag of tricks here on 2nd down and long. Oh, is it 1st and long or 1st and 10?
1st and 10.
Okay.
They're going to flip this to Rice. He's looking to throw. He's got Smith wide open downfield. Caught!
What a play.
Down at the 1. Little flea flicker down to the 1-yard line.
Underthrown right there, Jack, but number 4, Luke Smith, made a heck of an adjustment midair to make that play.
What a play. The Eagles will take this one down to the 1-yard line. Exactly what the doctor ordered. Offensive coordinator Matt Pete went into the bag of tricks, pulled it off. Eagles 1st and 5.
Great execution. Little underthrown, like I said, but heck of a play by Luke Wilson.
That's Smith around the corner, trucks the defender. Touchdown, Eagles. 12-7. Eagles lead.
Jack, we got a dogfight here in Harpersfield Township tonight. The Eagles came to play some football.
You know, all week the talk has been, we talked about this earlier, all week the talk has been, is Jay Sean going to play? Jay Sean hasn't played, and I don't know what he necessarily provides on the defensive side of the ball, but I'd imagine he'd be a linebacker. Is something happening on the defensive side that they're not getting these guys on the run so fast?
Well, I'll tell you what, it looks like they're a little bit spread out right there, and I think they're a little bewildered, too, that Geneva has been able to have some success in the running game, and then obviously on that pass play right there, it really stole the wind out of their sail. But Lakeside's a good football team, and they'll look to regroup right here, and they can get right back into this game with a nice, long, methodical drive.
That was Pfeiffer on the extra point. 13-7, your Eagles lead. 6:46 left in the half. Awaiting the kickoff to the Lakeside Dragons. Luke Smith punched that one in after a 30-yard flea flicker catch by Smith himself to get him down to the 5-yard line after the Eagles defense played great football, stopped the Dragons quick, forced a turnover.
And the Eagles offense was very, very good on that last series right there. A nice mix, mostly run, but they hit the big play, and that was the key to that last touchdown drive. Once again, I was very impressed with the midair adjustment that Luke Smith made. He's a player, Jack. You were right.
Here's Pfeiffer to kick off. That's Olsen on the return. He's going to bring it towards the middle. Little spin. He'll be dragged down around the 30-yard line. And that ball's stripped and picked up by Luke Smith. Luke Barbeau, excuse me. They're going to say that Olsen was down.
He might have been down by contact, and then another flag was thrown. I think a Geneva Eagle player may have said something he might regret to the official.
I believe that was one of the coaches.
Now, that's one of the things, too, against a team that's perceived as better. Those are the type of mistakes you just can't make right there. You've seeded the fact that, you kick deep, and that kid has a nice leg, and the Lakeside's going to bring it out. As long as you cover and stay in your lanes, they're going to bring it out to the 35. You don't want to tack 15 yards on with something unnecessary like that.
Seems like head coach Donald Shimsky's going to talk this one over with the referees. Referees aren't happy with him. They're sending him back to the sideline. A lot of fans, they think that ball was punched out before Olsen was down.
Could have been an early whistle. Maybe someday, Jack, with the streaming service up here, you'll have 2 TVs in front of you so we can go back. But we'll just have to let that one go.
Yeah, the fans at home can double-click on the left side of their screen, go back 10 seconds at a time. Go look at that one slow-mo.
Nice. So there's your 15 yards. That should put the ball around the 44-yard line. And you've just given Lakeside 15 yards closer to your end zone before a play's even been run.
Absolutely. Eagles fans don't like it. They're letting them hear it, letting the boo birds fly.
Let's see if Geneva can keep their composure and get the ball back here quickly.
Pitch play to Matlock, cut toward the middle.
Matlock did a nice job right there of changing directions. Had he not, he probably would have been tackled just past the line of scrimmage, but instead he picked up another 3 or 4 yards. Good run.
6:14 left in the half.
Yeah, it's been a quick half, too, unlike a lot of high school football games, because we haven't seen too many balls in the air yet. A few more from Lakeside, but this has been a ground them out type of game.
That one's on the ground again. That's Matlock. Wrapped up. That was number 6, Hayden Deemer. Got him from under with a little chop tackle.
Deemer and Pete coming up, lowering their shoulders, and hitting the ball carrier squared. Good contact right there. Drove him to the ground. Short game.
Like this Lakeside offense, they do move quick. And that's because I know I don't always pay attention when I'm watching games at home, but now that I'm up in the booth, I'm really paying attention even more. They don't huddle like the Eagles do. They don't go into the huddle. Their hurry-up offense nearly the entire game as DeSalvador keeps that for a couple yards.
And that's part of their identity right there. And a lot of that identity is based on, having Mr. Sanders out there too. So Lakeside, it looks like, Jack, Lakeside's forced to kind of have to adapt to a different style of offense and approach without their star in the backfield right now. But they've got seven points on the board, and they're starting to move the ball here in Geneva territory.
100%. Missing your best player is huge for an offense. That's all adjustments, and that's all. That was Bartone on the short run on 4th and 1. They're going to give it to him.
Did he make it, Jack? Yeah.
They're going to give him the first down.
But that goes back to what I was talking to you about Nate Bartone before the game. Those are the type of yards and those are the type of plays he can give you. Those short yard situations on 3rd and 4th down, move the chains.
There's Bartone again. be wrapped up after a gain of about 5.
Don't let him fool you, too. When he gets into the open field, he chops those legs and he can move.
Oh, he's definitely moving. No, back to what I was saying about Ja'Shawn Sanders. When you're missing your best player, your offense is centralized around one guy that's an unbelievable running back. He's about 5'10", 200 pounds, quick, bowls people over. He's got it all. It's hard. It's hard adjusting your offense when you're 50-50 all week if he's going to play.
Understood. And obviously we found the answer out to that just before kickoff here. Lakeside's offense looks a little different going up top.
That ball's picked off. That's Gio Rice. He's going to return this one. Up the left sideline, got room. He's going to dive. Rice returns that one down to the 45. Eagles ball, 3:31 left in the half.
Big play for the Geneva Eagle defense right there, and that puts them into position to orchestrate a drive here and go up possibly 2 possessions on this Lakeside Dragon football team, whose offense does look a little out of sorts without Ja'Shawn Sanders in the
Yes,
backfield.
it does. Now, I want to give props to this Eagles defense. They have forced a turnover. They forced 1 turnover in their first game, 4 in the next, 4 in the game after that, and then 1 today. That's their 10th forced turnover this season, and that's 4 games long. That's 2.5 turnovers a game. This defense is built on turnovers.
Not bad, and obviously watching football my whole life, and you too, Jack, we see what turnovers do to a ball game, what they do to the confidence of the defense, and what they do to the morale of the offense. And let's see if Lakeside can get the ball back quickly here and maybe grab a turnover of their own.
There's Young to Wilson up the middle. Gain of about 5 there.
Geneva's offensive line has done a nice job up front, too. They're starting to get some push, and you're starting to see 4 or 5 yards of carry from Geneva backfield right here, which, once again, like I mentioned earlier, Jack, this Lakeside defense is not accustomed to.
This Geneva offense, because they run the ball so much and they go to the huddle, they keep the defense on the field for a long time.
Looks like they're a double tight right there.
Young back to pass. Looking for a man. He's going to try to keep it himself. He's going to get some yards there, probably gain about 2 or 3.
Looks like we're going to have a lay hit on the call. So that's going to tack on 15, automatic first down here, Jack. Big mistake by Lakeside right there on the Geneva sideline.
That's going to cross him over into Dragon territory as we wind down to 2:50 left in the half. Eagles 13, Dragons 7. Geneva looking to go up 2 scores.
I like the play call right there, and I definitely like getting Kenny Young to the outside. He's showing me he's got some good footwork right there. But besides the fact that they were able to get the 15 yards on the penalty, you don't want to take a sack right there, and I think that would have been considered a sack. He's got to throw the football away right there. But it's all for naught because, look, Geneva's got 1st and 10 inside Lakeside's territory. It worked out in the end.
Young under center. He's going to hand that one to Deemer. He's going to cut back in the middle. Gain about 5 again.
Nice, solid, hard run right there. Had he maybe cut to the outside, looks like Lakeside safeties were sucked into the play right there. There might have been some room to run a little more. Still, pretty tough run. And what I like about Geneva is that their efficiency on first down.
Yeah, they've gotten 3 or more yards every play on first down today. This offense has been killing it early in the chains.
Yes, they have. And it looks like we talked about earlier, it's Lakeside that's behind the chains right now so far.
This Young back to pass. Slings that to Deemer. He's going to get out of bounds, stop the clock at 2:04. It's going to be a first down Eagles.
Jack, I didn't know much about this kid, number 6, Hayden Deemer, but I'm starting to now. He makes some nice plays in the passing game, and I like his routes, too. He runs crisp routes. Jack, they're starting to find some success in the passing game, mixing it up a little bit. It looks like they feel like they've got Lakeside on their heels. Are they going to continue with the pass or go back to their bread and butter and run the football?
Got to go back to the bread and butter as they do here. That's Wilson on a short run. Red zone, I feel like they're a little bit nervous to run the ball, especially 1:38 left. You don't want Lakeside to have time for another possession.
Correct. I agree. That looks like Geneva called a timeout. I think that's their first of the half, correct?
Yes, that's their first.
So in the meantime, we were talking about homecoming earlier. When is the Geneva homecoming game this year, Jack?
It's going to be on September 30th.
September 30th. Okay, nice, nice. A little earlier than past years, but at least not like September 10th or, there were a couple homecomings last year that were pretty earlier, and I kind of scratched my head about that.
Right, yeah.
To me, I guess maybe I'm old school, but homecoming's about autumn.
Yeah, you need that October setting, get those good pictures in with your friends, family,
Right.
etc. Yeah.
Not everybody standing there in their suits or tuxes or whatever you guys wear, sweating
Right.
through all the pictures.
And nobody likes to sweat.
Now this is tantamount. Geneva needs to score a touchdown here, Jack. They've got to finish off this drive and put Lakeside into their locker room in a very difficult position, one they haven't been in all year.
Absolutely. Young's going to try to get outside. Looks like he's not going to gain anything. It's going to be third and long.
Nice job by Caleb Stitt, recognizing that the quarterback was taken off to the outside. He did a nice job coming up. A couple other Lakeside Dragon defenders that I couldn't see their numbers, but good play. Loss of a couple.
Clock winds down to 1:12 left in the half.
Well, now we're getting to a situation where Geneva may have to start thinking about using their timeouts.
And that ball is picked off. Tipped out of the hands of Smith into the hands of Angelo Colazzo.
Great play by Colazzo. That's tip drill right there. Me and Bobby knew all about that. We had to work on that plenty of times in our Harbor High School and St. John days. Great play. Huge turnover. That's what we were talking about earlier. If Lakeside could get their turnover. And they just kind of sucked the wind out of the sails of this Geneva crowd.
That is a crucial, crucial turnover. Even if they don't get the conversion on 3rd and 12, Pfeiffer's got the leg to put that one through, put them up 9 points. That's still a 2-score lead.
I agree, Jack. Right there, you got to come away with some sort of points right there. Kenny Young, who's done a nice job throwing the ball in his, very few passes, kind of let that one get away from him. Looked like he released a little bit behind his helmet, and that ball floated.
So Dragons will take over with 1:01 left in the half at the 8-yard line.
1:01 to go here. You don't want to do anything foolish. Coach Edwards is smart. He understands that. So I could see Lakeside probably being a little conservative deep in their own territory. It looks like they're going to take a timeout to think it over.
Going to make sure they get this one right. I can't assume they'd go and try to march down the field in a minute, but they do have 2 timeouts left.
They do have 2 timeouts, and they've got gentlemen by the name of Malachi Matlock and Jimmy Timineer on the outside who can break a big one if they get the chance here. So we'll see if Coach Edwards is going to dial anything up here.
Now, if you're the Dragons, do you go try to march down and score, or you just grind out the clock?
I'm a little partial to being a little conservative right here. If you make a mistake, you've put Geneva back in this ball game. They're deep in your territory, 1 or 2 plays, and next thing you know, you're looking at a 2-possession ball game. So you're going to want to be a little bit conservative right here. But I'm not the head coach, and he may dial something up right here. He's got the playmakers for it, although it would help to have Jay Sean Sanders out there because he would attract coverage.
100%. They're going to hand this one to Colazzo on the outside.
Little end around
He's
Colazzo.
going to find room. Gain of about 6.
Nice run there, and I understand what Coach Edward was doing, not going between the tackles right there. He's trying to let some of his playmakers maybe make a play right there.
Yeah, because they have the guys where if you get a step on the outside, and they're gone to the house. They got a ton of playmakers on this offense.
And you got reliable hands like Mitchell and Olsen out here on the left side. Looks like Geneva's manning up right here. If Lakeside throws the football here, you may see a crossing route. No, zone read, straight through the middle.
That's a first down, so the clock will freeze for a moment. 15 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, and with it only being second down and 14 seconds, usually don't like to leave timeouts in your pocket, but it's understood why both teams would leave their timeouts in their pocket right there and just run this clock out to the half, which was a good half of high school football.
Absolutely, very, very tight. We got to see a turnover on each side. Got to see a lot of good ground game, a couple big plays. Very solid half of football right there for both sides.
Did Geneva have Lakeside on the ropes, though, Jack? That turnover is big right there, coming down before the half. They might have had him on the ropes. Instead, if you're Lakeside, you're kind of breathing a sigh of relief right now and saying, hey, we're in this game. We believe in ourselves. We're undefeated this year. We've got weapons on this team. We don't have our number one player, but we can move the football against this defense. And if you're Geneva right now, you're thinking you got to feel pretty good about the way you've played on both sides of the ball.
Absolutely. I mean, you're in your offensive half with the interception, but they have nothing to hang their heads on. This Dragons defense held Brush to 7 points, and then Brush went out and scored 73 the next week. These guys are no joke. This Dragons defense is the best, maybe the best defense they'll see all year, and they're leading at the half by 6. You can't ask for anything more.
You can't ask for anything more. And, you know, we talked about a couple of those missed opportunities for Geneva on those drives, but they sure made up for it, and they go into the locker room up 6 points. I'm sure a lot of people in here would have thought maybe it would be the other way around. I give Geneva a lot of credit. They came to play tonight. But Lakeside's a good second-half team. We talked about that earlier. Coach Edwards will make the necessary adjustments, and we'll see how it turns out the next 24 minutes.
Absolutely. With that, we're going to turn it over to both schools' bands. So we'll see you at the kickoff to open the second half. So I'm gonna go try. We got what? A little bit of time left till kickoff.
That's mine. Yep.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
I got. And we are back. Hope you enjoyed the performance by Lakeside and Geneva's bands. We got some stats for you. We were unable to attain Lakeside stats, so the leading rusher for the Eagles is Luke Smith with 43 yards. He also leads the team in receiving yards with 37 yards. That was a flea flicker catch right there. And the Eagles have 108 yards on the ground, really dominating on the ground tonight. Steve, what have you seen from this Lakeside team in the first half?
It seems like, Jack, they're a little bit off kilter tonight because I don't think they expected Geneva to come in and punch them in the mouth, which they have done it. But I think the first half was a nice half for Geneva, a good half of football. But I think this is really going to be a war in the trenches here in the second half. And we're going to see who wants it more.
Absolutely. It's been a dogfight so far. Now, this Eagles offense, they've had the momentum the last 3 possessions. Other than that interception, they've looked terrific.
They have, and they've also kept Alex DeSalvador's arm at bay. Once again, we have to mention not having Sanders on the field, I think, has made that offense a little bit more, I don't want to, a little more uncertain of themselves because they're so used to having him there. But it's time for these Lakeside Dragons and some of these other players to step up and say, hey, we missed Jay Sean. We're going to go out and win this football game right now.
100%. Sanders has, I believe he has the school record for rushing yards.
I believe he does have the school. And my dad and I, being up in the booth these last 4 years, we've had the pleasure of watching him. And he is a pleasure to watch. And a very, very nice young man, too.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult when the rock in your offense is missing.
Yep, and we're getting a steady dose of that tonight.
Absolutely. Now, Geneva does another decent job pinning them back. Lakeside's going to take over around the 29-yard line.
Lakeside could really come out here and make a statement if they can march down the field and put 6 on the board right here. And then we'll know that in that locker room, there was definitely a little soul-searching going on. And we're about to see it.
Yeah, we talked about it multiple times throughout the broadcast. Lakeside's a second-half team. They score most of their points in the second half. They're a team of adjustments. There's nothing wrong with that.
They're a team of adjustments, and that's always been Coach Edwards' his MO. He adjusts well at halftime, and we're going to see those adjustments put in action right here.
Silver's going to hand that. Who was that on the play, Steve?
Looked like a little zone read. The ball carrier was, that was number 27, Malachi Donnie, who has definitely had some nice plays over his career. And like I said before, Jack, I've seen these kids a lot, over the years, and I've seen what they're capable of doing. They haven't played up to their potential tonight. This is a big play right here.
That ball is nearly intercepted by Logan Queen. He was looking for Tim Minear up the middle. Meanwhile, we have a player down on the left sideline. I believe that's
Mitchell?
Olson.
Olson?
Number 7.
Yep, that is Mike Olson, number 7. Correct. Yep.
You never want to see a guy get injured in a high school game.
No, absolutely not. In my playing days, I saw some pretty brutal injuries on the football field, and that's the part of the game that we don't like to admit exists. But this is a very, very dangerous and violent sport. It's all about control. Sometimes bad luck just happens.
100%. It does seem to be just a cramp, but still, man, those hamstring cramps, those will get you.
Well, not that I am thriving off his cramp right there, but I will say this. If guys are still having cramps, that means we're still in some warm weather, because I'm not ready to welcome in old man winter quite yet.
Not at all.
Jack, I just wanted to mention real quick, it looks like Mike Olson's okay going off the field here, that my affinity and respect for the band, I know I played sports my entire career, but my family has a very strong tradition with the band. My grandfather was Hector Martinez, who passed away last year. He was the band director at Ashtabula for 20 years. So I thought both bands did a nice job, put on a good show, and we were all treated to it. The bands are a big part of high school football. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
Absolutely. I could not agree more. Salvador's back to throw this time. Looking, that ball's tipped and intercepted once more. That's Giovanni Rice. That's his second interception of the night. Giovanni Rice has wreaked havoc on defense this year.
I'll tell you what, Jack. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but the one thing Geneva's defensive backfield did a nice job in the tip drill. That's twice now.
Twice.
It's hard seeing the ball come off the receiver's hands and going and getting it. That's a big play right there. Lakeside's in a little trouble here early.
100%. Eagles get the ball in Dragon territory, looking to march down the field. They've essentially gotten the ball to start each half.
Yep. Absolutely. And right here, if I'm Geneva, and I'm not, I might be thinking about putting it up top here on first down and really trying to put a dagger into Lakeside's hopes right here. They've had some success in the passing game. See if they can get Kenny Young out in the flat and see if he can deliver one here. Yep, they're going to run the ball.
Yeah, that seems to be head coach Donald Shimsky and offensive coordinator Matt Pete's MO, that they're going to grind the ball out in the second half. In 2 of their 3 games they've played this year, they held the ball for the entirety of the third quarter.
That is ball control at its finest right there. And I'm starting to see, well, we're going to start to see Geneva implement that. But we have to remember, too, it's only a 6-point lead, and Lakeside's the type of team that is only 1 play away from getting back into it.
Absolutely.
So I understand going conservative, but you all.
Smith is going to break this one free.
Boy, Luke Smith is the heart and soul of this Geneva offense, without a doubt. I'm very impressed.
100%. Put 2 defenders through the spin cycle, 20-yard gain. That was one heck of a run right there.
How many tackles you think he broke right there, Jack?
I think I saw close to 4.
Wow. Impressive.
Didn't look like he had a lot going. Seemed like the blocking scheme kind of collapsed right there in the beginning, and then Smith found the holes.
And some runners are open field runners that don't like to necessarily deal with contact, but he can move in traffic, and that's an asset.
Absolutely. That's Wilson.
Yeah, from up here, it looked like he had a nice crease to run in off the left tackle right there, and he hit it hard. Geneva is on the move, Jack.
About 10 seconds left in the third quarter. It's going to be 2nd and about 6.
2nd and 6 right here. You try to run a bootleg, maybe try to get Kenny Young back outside the pocket again. Looking for your man Smith, maybe on a drag right here.
They're going to hand that one to Deemer.
Off the left side, another Geneva offensive player back that stepped up tonight.
Little backside run there. Deemer coming off the wing. 9:27 left in the play in the third quarter. Eagles have this one 3rd and 3 at the Dragon 11.
Well, this is obviously, I know you told me that Geneva has a very good kicker, but depending on this play and maybe without a loss of yardage right here, I think this is 4-down territory.
100%. Even if they don't get it, Lakeside's offense is still pinned back pretty deep.
Absolutely. You just picked up
The
where I
hand there
left
up
off.
the middle to Pete.
I think he's
they're
going to be
gonna
a
give it to
little
him.
short, Jack.
Yeah, they're gonna mark him just shy.
Yeah, I would think Geneva's going to go for it right here. Oh. You would think maybe the smart money would be on Kenny Young to follow his center, but the way that Luke Smith runs the football, doesn't matter if it's handed off to him 6-7 yards behind the line of scrimmage, he's going to get positive yards.
Absolutely. Even if he had this one to Jake Wilson, he's been dragging defenders all night.
Yes, he has.
Low snap there. Young's going to try to get outside, get it himself. He's going to be short. That's going to be a turnover on downs. Lakeside takes over.
Lakeside takes over, and their defense steps up and just made a huge play and put this football team back in this game.
That is a massive missed opportunity for this Eagles offense that really needed that score right there.
Jack, did you see who made that tackle right there that came up? It was kind of hard at our angle, and that's on the far side of the field. So did you see who made that tackle?
I believe that was one of the linebackers on the backside, no?
Okay. Well, as far as the number, I was going to reference the number there, but yeah, it was kind of hard. There was a gang tackle right there. But nice play, whoever it was. Kenny Young looked like he was going to escape right there around the left side, but Lakeside speed closed in on him too quickly.
They're handing this one to Stitt.
Couple yards right there. Yep. Tried to bounce it outside. Stitt giving the tough yards. But I'm going to tell you, without Ja'Shawn Sanders, you don't want to abandon the run here, but you're going to have to open up some things in the passing game, and you've got the receivers to do so.
keep in mind, though, DeSalvador does have the 2 picks.
And you wonder if his confidence is rattled or if he's ready to get back into it right here, because they're going to throw the football.
And there it is. Just throw this one to Collazo on a little bubble screen. Jailbreak screen, excuse me.
Jailbreak screen right there. Nice play. Gets him close to the line to gain. Let's see how much of a pickup that was, Jack. That was a little shorter than I thought. But once again, Geneva has put Lakeside's offense in some third down situations that they're not used to being in. And this is one of them right here.
3rd and 4 from the 18. 7:08 left to play in the 3rd quarter. DeSalvador back to throw again. Looking over the middle. That ball's caught by Timoneer. He's going to spin. He's got plenty of room. Drags the defender down. It's going to be at the 35-yard line.
Looks like that went for about 50 yards right there. Jimmy Timoneer getting separation over the middle. DeSalvador, quick look to his left. I think that might have confused Geneva's free safety that was on Jimmy Timoneer right there. And then he looked back to his right and made the play. That's Alex DeSalvador's best pass of the night. Big play for Lakeside's offense.
That's Donahue. He's going to lose a couple right there. But that play, huge. Huge momentum for the Dragons right there. That's probably the play they needed to get kicking into gear.
That's exactly what the doctor ordered for Lakeside, but I've got to get Geneva's front 4 credit right there. They just gave up a big play, but were able to get in the backfield and get a loss, and they've got Lakeside back where they've had them all night in 2nd and long. So that's a big play. Yeah, Jimmy Timoneer's sure hands showing up again. I've seen it many times over the last few years.
This is Salvador to Stitt in the flat. Stitt's going to get about 6 after the catch.
Just a little dump off right there to Salvador. Did a nice job checking down. Hit his back coming out of the backfield. Nice gain. Looks like it went for about 7, maybe close to, yeah, it looks like it's going to be 3rd down and a long 2.
3rd and a long 2? I haven't heard that before.
Well, you get used to that as a public address now, so you got to mix things up a little bit.
They're going to hand that one. Stitt's going to fall down.
Little stutter step in the backfield right there. I don't know if he lost his footing, but I think that kind of hurt Stitt being able to get around the edge because he had some running room around that left side.
It's going to be 4th and about a yard.
Jack, if you can come up and make a stop, if you're Geneva's defense right here, you're going to be feeling great about your chances.
This is a big play for this defense.
Big play. DeSalvador's got the call in. He's ready to go. Lone back set.
He's going to hand that to Bartone. He's going to get the 1st down and more.
Nate Bartone running exactly like I described him earlier. Tough yards, hard-nosed runner, and that is a big that is a big 1st down for Lakeside as they continue to march deeper into Geneva territory.
He runs a bit like Maurice Jones-Drew.
Yeah, that's a good comparison right there, Jack.
Here's DeSalvador. He's going to hand off in the middle again. That was Bartone on back-to-back plays. Gained about 8.
And it looks like for the first time this evening, Geneva's defense is starting to tire a little bit. Looks like we have an official's timeout on the field for an injury.
That was number 54, Kenneth Pavlison.
Kenneth Pavlison. I think it was Pavlison on the last play that had his arms wrapped around Bartone high. You cannot attempt to tackle Bartone high. He's going to get through you on that, and he did.
100%. We stop here. 4:28 left in the 3rd quarter. 2nd and 6 from the Eagle 14. Lakeside with just about all the momentum right now.
Lakeside's got all the momentum, and I remind everybody that the view we have right now, Jack, look, we got a full moon that's starting to rise over the north side of the spire here. Wow, what a night. Feels good. It's not late autumn yet, football weather yet, but we're not sweating up here. That's all I care about.
Oh, it was nice and comfy. We got the air conditioning in the booth, though. We're living large up here.
Jack and Bob, they do things right up here, and Logan. I'm impressed.
DeSalvador waiting on the snap. Bartone up the middle again. He's going to find some room just short of the goal line. It's going to be
Yeah,
first and goal from about the 2.
He get to about the 2 right there, Jack. Yep. Yeah, Nate Bartone is starting to be unleashed right here. He's starting to smell it. He's going to get the ball again, and it looks like he may have crossed. They're going to mark him short of the goal line.
It's going to be second and about 3 inches.
We talked about that one player earlier for Lakeside on offense that need to step up in place of Jay Sean Sanders. I think you're starting to see it out of Nate Bartone right now.
Absolutely.
DeSalvador also starting to pick up his. Bartone is the reason they're down there.
That's
Nice fake right there.
13-13. We are tied with 3:25 left in the third quarter. As Alex DeSalvador does it himself, we are awaiting an extra point that would essentially put Lakeside up.
Zone read keeper right there around the right side. DeSalvador had the option of handing it off. He took the ball out from Nate Bartone, and he saw that he had open field around the right side. That's excellent quarterback instinct right there. Great play, great decision by Alex DeSalvador.
Here's Aiden Hathey on the kick.
Aiden has a great leg. That was a little bit unaccustomed to seeing his ball that low through the goalpost earlier. So I think he's going to be ready to put the Lakeside Dragons back ahead for the first time in a while.
The kick is blocked. Low kick.
How about that,
blocked.
Jack? Wow.
That is huge. The Eagles get a huge break there, keep the game tight, get the ball back.
Huge. What did we talk earlier about special teams deciding football games, Jack? We've already seen Lakeside miss 2 PATs and Geneva miss 1, correct?
Yeah. It's like basketball. Got to make your foul shots. Football, got to make your PATs.
You got to make your PATs. That's one of the things that bothered me about the NFL moving the PATs back. They were meant to be so automatic that when you do miss one, it's cataclysmic.
Absolutely.
Now, you might see a missed PAT 1 every 10 times, and that's not what it was designed for originally.
Right. Now, this Eagles offense, in their last 2 offensive drives, they've come really 2 plays short of scoring. You had the interception on a drive that they were rolling on, and then you had on this previous one the 4th and 1 mishap, where Young just couldn't get out fast enough. That's only 2 plays where you're stopped on. This offense, they should still have some confidence, but it's pretty draining after giving up a big score like that, losing possession at about the 11-yard line. Let's see if they can punch back here.
Shows you the game of football, Jack, how the momentum can turn at the drop of a dime, and it did. But we're going to see what Geneva's made of here. We have a tie ball game here. Basically, it's 0-0 with 15-25 total to play in this ball game. Somebody's going to step up, win this thing here.
Little onside kick. That's recovered by the Eagles.
And that's where the risk reward comes into play as far as the onside kick. Right there, Aiden Hathey would probably want to have that one back. It was a little short. The Geneva left up back did a nice job of coming up and make that play. And look, where Geneva's got half a field to work with here, Jack.
They do. Now, that's a good adjustment there by the coaching staff. That was Deemer on the recovery. He's usually sent back to retrieve the kickoffs, and he was up front on the hands team. So move your guy up with the hands is a good adjustment right there by head coach Donald Shimsky.
You're in good hands with the good hands team. Yep. Well, me and Bobby McCoy back here, your producer, we were part of the good hands team for those 90 St. John Heralds and Harbor Mariner football teams. And that was a nice adjustment. That's what you got to do. You got to put your people up there that are going to field the football.
Young's going to hand to Smith. He's got room on the right side. He's going to pull a couple of guys over for an Eagle first down.
Nice job by Matlock and Nate Bartone to make the stop off the right side. But it goes to show you, once you get Luke Smith in the open field, he delivers a blow, and that's exactly what he did right there. They made the stop, but they paid for it physically.
They're going to call him about 2 yards short. No, Smith is always running downhill, it feels like. Young this time to Deemer on the backside.
Nice tackle.
It's a great tackle there off the D-line.
Looked like they
Steve?
tried a little jet sweep right there, but it looks like Jimmy Timoneer was first. Did a nice job of sliding to where the ball carrier wanted to be and met him behind the line of scrimmage. I think we got a loss of yards here, don't we, Jack? Yep.
Yeah.
Loss of 3.
Now, if Timoneer doesn't make that tackle, Deemer's got minimum 5 yards.
Absolutely, and we're moving the chains again. Instead, Geneva's a little bit behind us, the sticks. It's still 3rd down and manageable, but this is the play of the half right here.
This time to Wilson. Oh, yeah,
Kept it.
he kept it himself. I'm sorry.
Was that Malachi Donahue, like I told you earlier, man, he does make some plays on defense and offense, but he made a heck of a play right there. And if you're Geneva right here, I'd think about punting.
Yeah, they're going to run a punt team, hopefully pin back Lakeside deep.
Jack, have you seen Geneva attempt fake punts this year? Or do you see when they do punt, that's usually what they do when they come out?
Now, Giovanni Rice has a pretty good leg back there. He can pin him back. Clazo's back deep. You never know what he can do. He's very fast. You can always take one back. But no, they're not a team to fake because he boosts this one away.
Nice kick, a little bit of a tight, loose spiral for Rice. Look at this
They're gonna
ball
down
kick.
this one. What a
How about
beauty.
that, Jack? We talked about special teams. That right there was a heck of a kick. So far, throughout most of the game, except a couple drives, the exception, I think Geneva's won the field position battle so far.
100%. I mean, that's why Geneva was underdogs coming into this game. That was very clear. I feel like we made that clear. Everybody that's talked about the game throughout the week has made that clear. But they're playing like it's an even boxing match. Just back and forth all game. Low scoring, a little dogfight.
Even though Lakeside has tied this ball game out, made some nice adjustments and went down the field last time, Geneva came to play football tonight. They're not intimidated. They know they're home. This is senior night. They definitely want to win this ball game. Senior night, homecoming, those are the type of games you'll be remembering 70 years from now.
Salvador hand to Stitt. Stitt's going to be stuffed around the line of scrimmage and slammed down by Johnny Hazler.
Yeah, that was mean. That was nasty. That was football. Great tackle.
That was a defensive tackle right there, shedding a couple blocks.
What number, what's his name again, Jack, if you don't mind me asking?
John Hazler, number 60.
Excellent play right there. Yeah, he stood up right there. Stitt had no chance. Once again, Lakeside in 2nd and long, Jack.
43 seconds left in the third. Are they going to say you lost yards again right there?
I think they're going to give him because it was 2nd down and 10. Looks like they gave him a short gain on that, but it's still 3rd down, and once again, Lakeside's behind the chains.
Yeah, 3rd and 9 from the 9. 21 seconds left in the third quarter.
It looks like this is going to be our last play. Lakeside trying to take the clock all the way down. I'm not sure where the play clock is yet. They're going to have to run one more play here.
This is a big play for both squads. Salvador back to pass.
He's got time.
Gets outside of the pocket. He's going to look. Throws incomplete. Hayden Deemer on the pressure on the outside. He's looked for a man in the flat. It's going to be 4th and 9 from the 9-yard line as we now enter the fourth quarter.
And to end the quarter, that's a heck of a play by Geneva's defense. Give all the credit to the secondary. That's good coverage downfield right there, which forced Alex DeSalvador to throw the football away.
And that is huge right there. The Eagles, they get good field position because I doubt all the props to their punter, but I doubt this guy's going to boot one 80 yards downfield.
Well, we don't want to beat a dead horse, Jack, but it's clear that Jay-Sean Sanders' absence from this Lakeside offense is having a major effect. Now, we still got a 0-0 game, basically, 13-13 going into fourth. This is it. This ball game is 12 minutes now. Forget the first 3 quarters. But if you had Sanders on the field, maybe they'd be able to diversify a little bit, and they're not able to do that. Let's see if Geneva can move the football here and run some clock down too.
100%. Now this Lakeside team, they're playing well. They're playing like it's hard to eat dinner without having napkins next to you. I feel like Jay-Sean Sanders might be the napkins. Well, clean it up a little bit.
I like that, Jack. That was good. I'm going to have to use that myself. Great explanation there. Well, could it come down to, on a 13-13 game, could it come down to another turnover that could decide this football game?
Most definitely. I mean, these squads, they both are turnover crazy.
Yeah, this is in the hands of the defense, this game, because it may take just 3 points to win this football game right now. The way both offenses are starting to be shut down by the opposing defense. Well, here we go, Jack. 12 minutes to play in this ball game.
Like you said, it may come down by 3 points. Owen Pfeiffer, I've seen him take more practice kicks in this game. I don't know if you've been watching, because that one's booted short in the line as Smith just passed him.
He touched that ball, Jack. That's a live football. What a tackle. Look at Malachi Donahue. My goodness. He flew to the football.
That almost spelled disaster right there for the Eagles.
It did. Nice job by the return man. I'm not sure what his number was or his name. Who was the return man right there?
That was number 4, Luke Smith.
Okay, Luke Smith right there. You know, that wasn't a pretty kick, but that's the point of a pooch, to let that football bounce all the way around. And it looks like Lakeside's punter, who I should know. Yeah, I think that's Connor Mead. No, I think that was Hathey also. Another thing that Coach Edwards likes to do is pooch punt. He believes his punters can get some good bounce off the turf, especially at a place like this or at Lakeside. That's exactly what happened. We got a flag on the field. It might be delay a game here.
Yeah, as you're saying, that turf is definitely going to make that ball run. The Smith did a good job collecting himself, staying calm, hopping on that one. Eagles still have good field position. They're at the 50-yard line, just about.
Jack, and what we've got here, I think it was an illegal participation penalty, and it looks like it's going to be against the Eagles. Yep, illegal participation. That's one of those you don't hear too often, so thank you to my handy-dandy folder over here for helping us out.
I got to get me one of those.
Yeah, you do have to get the officials, the 2 sheets that has all the calls for college and high school. It's helpful.
Yeah, I was looking at it earlier. It looks like you printed it in about 2005. Wilson with a strong run.
Nice job by Wilson to get the Geneva offense back on track and put them in a position where it's going to be second down and manageable. And that's one thing I think when we look back at this game and the film will be reviewed, Geneva was in much more manageable situations on second and third down. Lakeside was a little bit less, a little bit more behind the chains, and that's big in a game that's been so close.
Young is under center this time. He's going to hand that one to up the middle. That was Wilson.
Yeah, it looked like he just gave it to the fullback. Yep.
You got me on that one.
Yep. Yeah, that one was tough. He got some tough yards right there. Short gain. That's going to bring up, once again, a gigantic third down for this Geneva offense. You got a guy out there who's your playmaker. He's the guy you rely on. You give him the football right here, Jack?
100%. Luke,
100%.
Got to give it to Smith here.
Yep.
Third and short, got to give it to Smith.
And Lakeside knows it, too. Smith's daring them to stop him. Let's see what happens.
They'll give that one to Deemer.
Oh, Deemer. Yeah, he got around the left side right there. Had a little bit of daylight, took advantage of it. Good tackle downfield, but good enough for another Geneva first down.
10:29 left in the game. Eagles have it on the Dragon 40.
I don't know if it's me, Jack, but this game has seemed to have flown by tonight. It might be because we've had a steady dose of nothing but pretty much running football.
You're 100% correct. There's another hand there. That's Wilson.
Now, I know we keep giving Luke Smith all the credit. He deserves a boatload of credit, but Wilson's done a really nice job in spelling Luke Smith. And the other thing, too, is what you're starting to see is, and this is a nightmare for defensive coordinators, opposing defensive coordinators, you're starting to see a little two-headed monster develop between these two guys.
100%. As you say, that big defensive shift right there will set off the offense maybe. Young's going to keep this one, try to get to the outside. He's going to get out of bounds for a short gain.
And Young making his way through the track almost up into the fans. Kenny Young strikes me as he's the type of guy you're going to run RPO. You're going to get him outside a little bit, maybe have him, take some shots downfield. But what I've seen Kenny Young is he manages the game well.
He does, yeah. He was a wide receiver last year, and then he would show up the next morning and play quarterback for the JV squad. He can make plays with his legs, and you're right, he can manage the game pretty well. He stays calm as he hands to Smith there for a big first down. Smith is going to get down to the 21-yard line.
Boy, when he gets to that second level where the linebackers are, you've got to be right there. He's getting by, and that's exactly what happened. That went for about 13 yards. Big play.
Smith is a kid you got to square up.
Absolutely.
Square him up to bring him down.
So here we go, Jack. They're actually right in front of us here at the 21-yard line. Big first down for Geneva.
He's going to hand to Wilson up the middle. Gain of 4.
Starting to see a little bit of fatigue from this Lakeside football team. But once again, they've got some good players on that defense, and they're capable of turning this game around in one play. But they absolutely have to get a stop. They've got to get in the backfield. They've got to get pressure up front, some push. They're not right now. Geneva has all the momentum.
100%. Geneva's offense, it's built to drain the defense. It's ground and pound, come and punch you in the face. And that ball's out. Young is going to hop on that. He's going to save that one.
Huge save by Kenny Young right there. That could have meant the ball game with less than 9 minutes left to play in this thing.
Ball control is something we talked about at the beginning of the game. On handoffs, the Eagles have struggled, especially fumbling. They've had one fumble a game minimum on the handoff like that. And we even saw them do it in warm-ups. You got to clean that up.
You got to clean that up as the season goes on because it will come back to haunt you for sure.
It's a pitch play to Smith. Little cut. He slips and falls, but he's going to gain about 4.
Okay, decision time for Coach Shimsky. Decision time right here, and it looks like he's bringing in his field goal team. So in a close game, Geneva will opt to kick the field goal.
Owen Pfeiffer on the kick.
And you've been telling me tonight Owen Pfeiffer has a nice leg, huh, Jack?
Yes, he does. Here's a little something about Owen. He's a cross-country runner. He's played soccer. I believe he was second or third on the team in goals last year. Dropped soccer to play football this year and come kick. And he's been having a great season.
Well, he's perfect then to be a kicker. High snap. That ball's going to be short, Jack.
I believe that was tipped at the line.
Tip. Nice job by Lakeside getting penetration up front. Somebody got their hand on that football right now, and that is a huge momentum swing and a big win for Lakeside's defense. Give them a lot of credit there.
100%. That would put Geneva up by 3. Lakeside, they got the ball around the 30-yard line now.
See, now this is, once again, we're beating a dead horse, but, if you've got Sanders in a tight game like that now with 7:19 left to play and Geneva's defense coming out right now, this is where you would really start to ground and pound him. He's not necessarily going to burn you with the most amazing speed, but he doesn't need to. He's a downfield runner. He can still make plays in the open field, but he delivers the blow when he hits you.
100%. Meanwhile, that's Bartone up the middle. No, I actually had the pleasure of getting run over by Jay Sean Sanders in middle school football more than once. I'll tell you, as a little 100-pound 7th grader, that did not feel good.
Sounds like for all of you older listeners, the same thing that happened to me when I was a sophomore in high school from a gentleman by the name of LaJuan Miller. Went to play college football at Grambling. Yeah, he ran me over in the open field. It was not fun, Jack. There's been a few of those stoppages tonight, and we haven't really gotten many explanations on them. Screen.
Little screen to Collazo there. He's going to find room up the sideline. Smith brought him down.
Well executed right there by Alex DeSalvatore. Nice job by Collazo stepping back behind the line of scrimmage, looking the football into his hands, and then taking off upfield up the boundary. Huge play, and Lakeside is in business near midfield.
That's just great play call there. They've been sticking up the middle, and then surprising on the outside with a little screen for big play.
Have we seen a wide receiver screen all night? Nope. So that was clutch.
That's Bartone up the middle again. There's a flag there, though.
I think this one might be coming back. Well, the official's going to his face. That's the line judge. This might be a face mask against Geneva.
That's the last thing this Eagles defense needs.
Personal foul. Yep, there's your face mask against the Eagles. That's big, Jack. That's big.
That moves Lakeside into Eagle territory.
And one of the reasons why Geneva has done so well tonight is they've been so disciplined. They haven't made those type of mistakes. There was the personal foul earlier and the illegal substitution, but that one right there is big with less than 6:20 left to play in this ball game.
So
There's
another
the
screen
screen
on the outside. The Colazo again. This time it's wrapped up.
Yeah, it looks like
him up for a gain of about 2.
looks like running that to the short side of the field right there did not necessarily give a chance for Colazo to get into space, and Geneva's defensive backfield was all over it. Nice job by the corner, planting off his back foot, coming up, making that play.
That was Will Milk on the play. Here's the Salvador to Bartone again.
Keeper.
A keeper.
Great execution by DeSalvador. He fooled both of us up here, didn't he, Jack? Great acceleration, too, once he got through the first level into the second level, and then he dove forward for a couple extra yards. That kid's got heart.
5:45 left to play. Ball spotted at the 34. 23, excuse me. Hard to see from this angle, if you couldn't tell.
Well, Jack, this is it. This could be the ball game, this series. Geneva will get a chance. DeSalvador in trouble.
That's out towards the sideline. Maybe a little miscommunication there on an option route.
That's smart quarterback play right there. He saw that the defense had broken through, jailbreak right there, and he just threw the ball away and made sure they had a receiver in the area.
That was Deemer up in his face. That's the second or third time he's done that tonight. Deemer's been putting on some good pressure.
Deemer's done a nice job of freeing himself up to harass DeSalvador in the backfield, and it's thrown Alex off a little bit tonight, but he's starting to get back into a groove now.
We'll hand to Bartone up the middle. It's got steam.
He may be a big boy, but in the open field, those legs are a chug, and that is a heck of a run right there, and it's going to put Lakeside, I believe, in 1st and goal. Yes, it is.
5:13 left to play. Eagles struggling to get defenders off.
Where are they at, Jack? Right at the 10-yard line, I believe.
Yes. Geneva's going to call a timeout, get their guys off the field. Little personnel issue there.
I think when we look back at this second half, Jack, we're going to say that this was a tale, not of two halves, but a tale of momentums. We've seen, 3 or 4 momentum swings already here in the second half. We are starting to think, Geneva might have this one. Then they missed the field goal to put them ahead. Lakeside takes the football. Alex DeSalvador with some nice mixing up, some nice throws, and look where Lakeside's in business, 1st and goal.
Couldn't agree more, Steve. 1st and goal from the 9, 5:09 left to play.
Yeah, you got an off-back set right here. I think Nate Bartone is going to be your ball carrier. DeSalvador with the long snap count. There it is.
Bartone's going to be tripped up just short of the goal line.
Touchdown saving tackle by whatever Geneva linebacker made that.
That was one of the inside guys.
I think that might have been.
That might have been number 3, Matt Wright.
Okay. And that might have been Petros that came off the field because his helmet was knocked off. So he'll come off for one play.
Back to Bartone again. Wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. He's going to gain about 1 there.
Geneva's goal line defense has done a nice job. They really tighten up well down with their backs against the wall. And they've done a nice job of filling the gaps, coming up and making plays at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they're running a 6 or 7 man front just about every play.
Yes.
Salvador's going to keep this one. He's going to be just short.
Wow. Here we go. Coming down to this. We're going to be passing just under 4 minutes here, Jack, and we've got 4th and goal at the 1-yard line for Lakeside.
This could be the play of the game.
The way Geneva runs the football, I don't know if Lakeside will get the football back. They've got to score right here, and you've got to give it to the guy that's given it, that's brought you down there, and that's Nate Bartone, right here on a dive. Nothing fancy, power football. Up.
Lakeside's going to call a timeout, make sure they get this one right.
So in regards to the timeouts right now, it looks like Lakeside and Geneva both have 2 timeouts apiece here, Jack, with what?
Yes.
3:39 remaining in the ball game.
Now, if you're Geneva, how do you defend this? Because you've seen the bubble screen for a touchdown on a goal line play to Timoneer earlier in the game, and then they've been plugging it up the middle all drive long. What are you doing here, Steve?
Well, I've also seen Lakeside go play action right here, fake the handoff and run the slant. Both Timoneer and Mitchell caught one in week 1 that was called back. But that's also something that's in their arsenal, too. So if you think Geneva might do a good job of defending the run here in your Lakeside, you might want to think about running that quick slant.
Now we'll switch point of views. If you're Lakeside, you're Coach Buzz Edwards. What are you doing?
I'm playing power football right here. Yep. I'm going through either the 1 or the 2 hole, right up the middle, handoff. Nate Bartone is going to get you that 1 yard, more than likely here.
Couldn't agree more.
It comes down to offensive line play right here.
3:39 left to play. 4th and 1 from the 1-yard line. Tied ball game. They're going to hand this to Bartone.
There it is. Are they going to say he did not have
They're going to say he's
progress?
short. That's a turnover on downs. And that may have been a game-saving play by the Eagles defense.
You have got to be kidding me.
Wow.
What a play. It looked like Bartone had a crease to run in, but Geneva shut that hole down quick and forced him to the outside. That's not his game outside the tackles.
Yeah, he came in right through the 2-hole like you said he would.
Yep.
Had to bounce outside. Somehow stayed up and then was wrapped up on the outside. Great defense and tackling by this Eagles team.
Great penetration by the linebackers. They came up and filled the gaps, pushed him to the outside. That's textbook goal line defense right there. And look, although Geneva has a tough situation here, they got the football back. That's their 2nd turnover on downs tonight, right?
Both of them have proved huge.
Now, Jack, you got 99 yards to go here, but you do have a kicker who is capable of, where would you think his range would be?
I think with Pfeiffer, you got to get down to the 20-yard line.
Okay. All right. Get down to the 20-yard line and make it a 37-yarder. So you think that might be the limit around there?
Yeah. And the Eagles have bigger fish to fry. They got to get outside of safety territory.
Absolutely. And now you'll see the gamesmanship between the 2 head coaches with both teams having 2 timeouts left in their pocket.
Yeah, this has been a chess match all game.
Another thing, too, here, if you're Geneva, you may want to hold on to those timeouts and try to run as much clock down as you can to the situation that you're in. So if Lakeside gets the football back, even though they've got 2 timeouts, they still won't have a lot of time left in this ball game.
Young's going to hand up the middle to Wilson again.
Oh,
He's
look at that run.
His legs.
That is huge, Jack. That's huge.
Huge first down for Wilson. He's kept the legs churning.
And that changes your entire clock management and outlook right there just by getting that first down here.
That's pure weight room right there. Wilson does not skip leg day.
If you make the stop at the line of scrimmage, you're in 3rd and long right there, and you would have forced, or Buzz Edwards would have taken a timeout and stopped this clock, and that's not what Geneva wanted there.
Absolutely. That's Wilson again. Clock winds down to 2:28 left to play.
What a great football game, Jack. This is the way it should be. I haven't seen a game this good in a while. All knotted up, 13-13, 2:20 left. We may end up heading to, for lack of better words, some extra innings.
I've been keeping my fingers crossed for a game like this all week as he hands to Smith. He's got room. He's got room. That's Collazo chasing him down. He's dragged down at about the 45-yard line. That's a 60-yard run for Smith.
Wow. What a game changer that is right there. Geneva is inside Lakeside territory with 2 minutes left and a kicker who has a leg that can make a boot.
I know we've said play the game multiple times, but this has been just such a tight, and every play is crucial. I think after that Tim Minear, the 50-yarder, that's the biggest play of this game.
Absolutely, I agree, without a doubt. Jet sweep right there around to number 6, Hayden Deemer. He's done a yeoman's job tonight. I know we haven't mentioned him as much, but we have mentioned him. He's definitely made his presence felt on this football field tonight.
Yeah, Deemer's just a sophomore. He's got a very, very bright future ahead of him. As that's Smith on the carry again. He's going to be tripped up. There's a flag on that play. We'll see
now,
what that
if you're
one
running
is.
the football right here, you're also trying maybe to get in field goal range, which I understand. But you're actually lucky. Well, it looks like we've got an injury and a flag. If you're Coach Edwards, too, you're going to be forced to maybe start thinking about those timeouts here.
Yeah, I mean, he got 1:25 left to play. He's still got 2 in his pocket.
Right.
I mean, what do you wait for the next set of downs, or do you try to stop him on these downs?
It just kind of depends. It just kind of depends how you feel about your defense right now at this particular part of the game. And that kind of dictates how you will use those timeouts and your clock management. And right now, Geneva has Lakeside on the heels, but this is a big loss, a big penalty against Geneva. It's going to put them back almost to midfield. Wow.
Yeah. Now, on that play, Malachi Donahue limped off. Hate to see high school kids get hurt, like we said earlier.
Absolutely. Malachi is a warrior there. I would not be surprised to see him back in this football game in 2 to 3 plays.
2nd and 14, 1:20 left to go.
Double tights, one receiver split out left. Let's see what Geneva has in store.
Young's going to kick out.
Boot.
He's going to take it himself. He got a man downfield. Young trucks over defender and gets the first down. They're gonna get Lakeside for another late hit right there.
What a great run. Kept his foot moving, kept the play alive with his legs. He would not give up. Was that the quarterback right there? That
was Young on the keeper.
He did have a man open downfield, but he tucked it away and went, got to the sidelines to stop the clock, and got hit 5 yards out of bounds. You're going to tack on 15 yards here.
That is a massive, massive penalty against the Dragons. That's
Now,
a play right there where Young, he might get yelled at in the film room. He's going to say, nah, that's me, coach. That's
absolutely.
all me.
What a fantastic play right there with his legs. Now you're in field goal range, aren't you, Jack? Yep.
100%. 1:04 left to play. Geneva on the brink of an upset against the Lakeside Dragons, who, don't forget, they were ranked number 1 in their area
This
last
would
2
be
weeks.
Huge. Yep. Even though we still got a minute or 4 to go here, Geneva is definitely in the driver's seat. We got a timeout taken by Coach Edwards of Lakeside. Jack, as far as this football game has gone tonight, regardless of the way it turns out, these have been 2 teams that seem evenly matched tonight, minus Sanders. That's a big X factor here.
100%. I mean,
But still,
who's to say this game isn't like this with Sanders on the field? But I feel like I don't want to take anything away from the guys on Lakeside that have played well in spite of Sanders being out, because really, this Lakeside squad, everybody that's subbed in for them between Stitt and Bartone, they've played whales of ball games. Both teams have played great all game. It's been a pleasure to watch, a pleasure to call with you, Steve.
I couldn't agree more.
And couldn't ask for a better game on a beautiful Friday night at the Spire.
Same here. I come into the booth with you first time, and we got lucky. We seen a Dan DeRuski here tonight, but it's still not over. Geneva's in position to win this football game, possibly one of their biggest upsets in the last few years. They got to seal this.
Absolutely.
Full house.
Then hand to Wilson. He's going to keep chugging.
Wilson still getting those tough yards. We're under a minute right here. You'd like to not have to bring your kicker out here and maybe break one, but you also have to be a little conservative with ball security here too.
Right.
And I'm not sure about where Pfeiffer is a little bit better, on the right far hash or the near hash or in the center of the field.
The Eagles Eagles are going to take a timeout right there. They have one remaining. Both squads have one timeout left. 50 seconds left to play. 2nd and 7 from the Dragon 11. I've been, obviously I go to school with all these guys. I've been talking to guys like Smith, guys like Barbo, he's a #1 wide receiver, guys like Young. They've had this game circled on the schedule for months.
And that's the way it should be, too, and I respect that about Geneva. And not to say that Lakeside would look past them or anything like that, but these local rivalries are what it's all about. I've always been an advocate of that. I know most people also have been. So that's what also makes this game even better. Lakeside, Geneva, at its finest.
Young's got this one. He's going to be dragged down.
Look at Nate Bartone stepping up on both sides of the football.
That is
Great
a
play
huge
behind
play.
the line of scrimmage. Timeout, Geneva. They're out now, Jack.
40 seconds left. I think you go for the first down, gets the 4th down.
If you
Put this one in Pfeiffer's hands.
If you want a little different field position for your kicker, you could run the ball right here, get up to the line of scrimmage, and spike it, and it would be 4th down. Or you might want to kick now in case anything happens. You still have that 4th down in your pocket. We'll see how this plays out.
You know, you might be right. I don't see Pfeiffer warming up on the sideline. They might run him out right now.
I think you're right, Jack. I think Geneva's going to try and win this football game right here. I had a feeling tonight would be a good game, but I could not have imagined, I'm sure you agree, Jack, that this game would come down to a field goal.
I did not think so. I thought we'd have a fun ball game, more scoring, really. Because
Right.
both offenses are pretty decent, got a lot of explosive players, like we've mentioned plenty of times.
And even though we haven't had a ton of razzle-dazzle offense, we've had a lot of yards on the ground for both teams.
100%.
But it's led to this. Okay, Jack, take it away. Here we go. Oh, they're going to run another play.
Young's going to
Play
Young's
action
going to
boot.
keep it. He's going to run it himself. Going for the first down. Goes
They're
for the
going-
touchdown. Did he get it?
He is short, but he's knocked out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
That is a huge play. Young was set up to throw there. He said, no, coach, that's me again. Takes it all the way to the 1-yard line. 1st and inches, 32 seconds left to play.
Coach Shimsky, I've got to give him credit, man. That took some cojones right there. And his quarterback delivered on a play-action boot. He tucked it and run. Lakeside didn't have any contain on the outside. And now it's come down to this. Half a minute to go here, Jack. 1st and goal from the 2 for the Geneva Eagles.
Got to imagine they're going to punch this one in with Wilson, or at least try. There he is. Is he in there? Touchdown, Eagles! Eagles lead 19-13 with 28 seconds left to play.
Just a simple dive to the right side right there through the 2-hole, Jack. And this ball game. This ball game is in the hands of the Geneva Eagles with 28 big ticks left in this baby. But this also is a big PAT. We talked about this, Jack.
Yes, it is.
Lakeside's got half a minute to go yet. He's got to make this.
Good snap. Kick is up. Kick is good. Eagles lead by 7. Lakeside has 1 timeout and 28 seconds to tie this ball game.
Pfeiffer delivers on a very nice kick that splits the uprights, and Geneva is up by 7 points late in this ball game. But Alex DeSalvador and Buzz Edwards may have a few tricks up their sleeves, and this may be the type of series coming up where you might want to go to your trick plays.
Absolutely. If you're Geneva, you got to run your best pass defense out there.
Absolutely.
DeSalvador's going to come slinging. He can throw the ball. We saw it earlier. He can sling the ball downfield for sure.
And
Got a
what
cannon
Geneva
for an arm.
also did a nice job on, Jack, by running the football and the way they mixed it up in that last series, they forced Coach Edwards to have to use 2 timeouts. Therefore, he's only got 1 left with 28 seconds. So nice job by the Geneva offense grinding out, trying to win this football game.
Terrific clockwork by the Eagles, marching down the field in 4 minutes. I was actually watching practice from the field yesterday, or from up in the booth yesterday, excuse me. And they practiced a 2-minute drill for an hour and a half of their practice, I think.
Well,
Now
they
got it done.
executed it
They
well.
got it done in 4 minutes, but it's all the same for them because
Well, how much time was left when they got the ball back, Jack?
4:30.
4:30. Yep. And they took 4 minutes off the clock and went 99 yards.
Yeah, that's quite a drive.
They want to win this game.
These boys, these Geneva guys, I've talked to them all week. They've been waiting for this game, and they hate hearing people talk bad about this football team.
Yeah. Okay, squib kick.
Squib kick to run some clock. That's number 3, picked up by Alex DeSalvador. Look at the quarterback on the hands team.
Quarterback on the hands team right there. I got to be honest with you. Right there, I understand he's trying to just get the ball back. But you had a little chance to maybe get some field position back, scoop it up and run for 10 and slide. But that's okay. We'll give Alex a pass on that. He's done a nice job tonight, especially here in the second half. He and Nate Bartone got this Lakeside team all knotted up. The Salvador's made some good decisions in the passing game the second half. And that's what it's going to have to come down to if they're going to win this game. You're not going to be able to run Nate Bartone through the tackles for 5-6 straight minutes here. We got 28 seconds left to go.
Yeah, the Salvador's got to make plays. The receivers got to make plays. Yep. Eagles still running a 4-man front. The Salvador's going to get outside of the pocket. He's got a man in the flat. He's waiting for something to open up. That ball's batted by Deemer.
Nice play for Deemer, intended for Cameron Mitchell. Just at about the sticks. Now, if you're Lakeside, too, in a situation like this, with one timeout, you may want to look for a little hook and lateral here.
Yeah.
Maybe try to get Cameron Mitchell on a curl and have Jimmy Timoneer come off his hip. And, you know, Jimmy's shown that he can break Malachi Matlock. They're going to have to try something special here. They're not going to be able to think and dunk their way into the red zone.
Yeah, if they want to tie this one up, they might have to pull out a little backyard football action there. There's the Salvador dropping back. He's moving up in the pocket. That ball is dropped in the flat by Nate Bartone. 13 seconds to play. 3rd and 10 from the Eagle 24. Excuse me, the Dragon 24.
Well, there was good penetration up front. DeSalvador was flushed out of the pocket instantly right there, and he did a nice job of checking down. He went through his progressions as fast as he could and tried to hit his back, which would be his safety valve route in Bartone, but it was just a little bit too high. That play probably wouldn't have gone for too far, so maybe it's a good thing that he wasn't tackled in bounds. Slant, there's Collazo.
That's Will Mook on a big hit up the sideline.
A little bit of a mistake right there, running Collazo out of bounds, but we've got 3 seconds left, and Lakeside has, 73 yards to go?
Yeah, they're going to spend their last time out. Yep. Right, the final play of the game. A little fun fact about that play there. Will Mook tackled his cousin, Angelo Collazo.
What's that, Jack? I didn't catch that, buddy.
Will Mook and Angelo Collazo there on the sideline.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, a little family feud going on right there. Yep. I understand how that goes. Yeah, once again, Jack, I just want to thank you for having me out here tonight. Maybe we'll get a chance to do it again here throughout the rest of the year. We'll see how things go. But you've done a nice job. It's a nice production. And I thank also not only you, but Geneva High School for letting me come up here and hang with you and call this game.
Hey, thanks for coming, Steve. I mean, this game has been a blast. I could not have asked for a better game. It's edge of your seat all night long. And a little nice to do the game with my cousin.
Absolutely, Jack. Well said, buddy. Yep, this has been great. But here we go. This is it. 3 seconds to play. I'll let you take it over. 4th down and long.
Salvador wants the shooter to come in, but he's not doing it. Swings to the outside. He's looking for a man downfield.
Hook and lateral.
Timoneer on the right side up the middle. He's going to take him down. He was going to upset the Lakeside Dragons. 20-13. What a game.
What a fantastic ball game. What a big win for this program right here. And Lakeside is going to have to let this one go pretty quick because they're back home next week, I believe, against... I'll have to figure that out. But couple of the keys to tonight's game, Jack. I think the difference was that Geneva, in certain situations, just executed a little bit more.
They did, and they had a full head of steam every single play. Their backs had a full head of steam, always falling for you see the student sections charge the field. What a game.
What a game.
Their personnel was great all game. I can't really say they ran a play, but a real head-scratcher play, great coaching. And Lakeside, they played a heck of a ball game as well.
They didn't try to do too much on offense. They were physical up front.
My mic is cut. You gotta go. I gotta get off. Oh, you. Mine's cut.
Geneva definitely earned this win, but Lakeside hung in there, and I am proud of the Lakeside Dragons for making this a ball game. They're going to have to recover from this one quick, Jack, and they'll have a big test. They'll have a big game at home next week. It'll be their first game since week 1 back at Lakeside. So they can recover well, go home next week, get some home cooking, get a win. But as far as Geneva, they're off and flying. Big win for the Geneva Eagles.
Yeah. Couldn't have asked for a better game. Said it again. You know, Lakeside missing Jay Sean Sanders, but a lot of guys really stepped up. Bartone played a heck of a ball game. I think Stitt played a good game when he was getting the carries.
Yes, he did.
Lakeside has nothing to hang their hats on, really. Nothing to be ashamed of. They played a great ball game. And it was a barn burner all game, and Eagles, they just found a way to deliver.
Well, I think that when Lakeside looks back at this, and Coach Edwards is probably going to have a few nightmares about this in the next few weeks, but that goal line stance, that's the ball game right there. That's the play of the game. Geneva stepped up. From our angle, it looked like Nate Bartone had got in, but he did not. Geneva made the push. The defense pushed him back, got the turnover on downs, and went 99 yards, Jack.
Yeah, that's the story of the game right there. The Eagles marching 99 yards. That's something you see in, like, NFL films, documentaries.
Right.
That's a great story. You'll read about that one in the paper tomorrow for sure. Now, with that, Steve, thanks again for joining me. I had a blast tonight.
It's been a pleasure, Jack, and we saw a fantastic high school football game at a fantastic facility up here in Asheville County tonight, and I'm real proud to have been here tonight and seen it, and real proud to have been here with you, my friend, and my cousin.
Thanks, Steve. Now, this week, stay tuned on the GHS Media YouTube channel for a recap video from tonight's game. Everybody have a great week, a great night, and go Eagles.